Hello, Rigs Belgium, of course. Of course. I'm still not a professional tutorial maker, but it's my second one today. Somebody asked me to do a video about sources within OBS. I did already the OBS basic settings, and I was thinking, yeah, it's not a bad idea, because then we have the full package of basics within OBS. Opening OBS, it's still the same version as in the other video. We have still the same scenes, and then we're gonna add a new scene. You can click here or right click add. I'm gonna call or name this one test, and then we go sources. We have a lot of sources, and the first one is image, so that means you can add an image, of course. So I'm gonna call this cat, and oh boy, I found a nice picture of a cat. So cat face. Unload image when not showing. So whenever you delete a file, rename it, put it somewhere else, yeah, it's not gonna show up anymore until you go properties and you go where the location is. But that's that makes sense, right? So look at this. If you keep your left mouse on this circle, you can make it bigger or smaller. If you want to stretch it, an image, you can keep pressing shift, and then with the left mouse you can stretch it the way you want. Very handy, as I will show you, to put like a certain image or your webcam into a certain box on an overlay or something. So that can be very handy. Shift, keep pressing shift and then left mouse. The next one is image slideshow. So that means we can add multiple images into a slideshow. So I'm gonna add the best friend of a cat, which is a dog. Transition, yeah, slide for example, and time between slides 800 milliseconds. Randomize payback, so if you add like 6 pictures, that will not go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but like 3, 6, 1. Yeah. I used that in the past, not anymore, but maybe again in the future. Who knows what the future will bring. Let's remove the cat first. I used to use that for, I had the same overlay with different colors. So let me show you. It's not this ones I used, but it's to show you, give you an example. So overlay and gray overlay. I'm gonna add both. And you can probably click here, reset transform, yep. Like this. So basically it's going 800 milliseconds between red and gray. But of course you can do it with the wing, blue, yellow, green, and then you go randomize. So you have your wings of your overlay change. Can be pretty cool. Endless possibilities, of course. For now, for this tutorial, I'm gonna remove the gray one, and I'm gonna go to the next one. Next one is browser source. So let's add it. This is to add a website, of course, and also you can add a local website. So if last year I had a HTML file during the Christmas season, and that HTML file made it snow, so there was snow going all over the screen. So something like that, also endless possibilities. Or you can add an online website if you have a sponsor or something. I don't have a sponsor, so if any sponsor is looking and saying like, whoa, this guy is really talented in making tutorials, give me a message, send me an email. For now I'm gonna close this browser source. I'm gonna close it. Next one is media source. If you can't add media source, that probably means you don't have the plugin installed. So you have to go to, I will post, of course, as the good guy that I am, this link in the description. And you need to install, I would suggest you install the 32-bit and also the 64-bit. And then you extract the files into the OBS map in the folder plugins. And you of course extract them when your OBS is closed, and then if you reopen OBS and you don't see anything, that means it's okay. So let's add a media source. This is mostly used for adding video or audio files, so MP4 or MP3 files. I'm gonna add a video, so MP4. And I'm gonna also click loop, because otherwise the video will start, and when it stops, the video is gone. Maybe I can show you. So the video is starting. I'm gonna try already put it in that thing here. So we're resizing already. So a little bit with shift. That's what oh, it's gone. So quickly go properties, or quickly, you can take your time of course, and loop it, so it will start, stop, and it will instantly restart again. So as you see, you want to overlay like showing, if I can tell it like that. So what you do, you go on the image, you press Control, the left control on your keyboard, and the arrow up. So basically this works like layers in Photoshop. So the bottom layer, and then you stack things, images, video files, whatever, on top of it. So that's a media source. Next one is text. You can add whatever you want, but most people probably use it, streamers that is, to add, to show a message, last follower, last donation, top donation, whatever, last 5 followers. So a lot of programs like Twitch Alert, there are a lot more different ones. They also have an application that you install on your computer, and it will create a text file with, for example, last follower or last 5 followers, and then you go into source and add the text, and you go read from file, and then it's important you click that, and then you can browse the file. I made one, I just made a text with Rick's Belgium in it, and I'm gonna also put it on outline. So this creates like a little bit black around the white, so people notice the name better. If you don't do it, you still be able to read it, but yeah, if you're gaming fast-paced action, a little bit black around white is perfect. And also go with the font. Don't take like a super crazy font though. So try to keep it at as easy as possible, and also do some tests, of course. So I'm gonna go bold, and I'm gonna put it on 48. Yeah, 48. So Rick's Belgium, for example, is now the last follower. Let's hope he's not the last follower, of course, but the next person who's gonna follow you, his name or her name can be a lot bigger. And what you don't want to have is that the name is like this over your screen. So you can go to, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. So you go, I'm gonna start over again, right click, transform. You can also rotate, for example, with an image, or yeah, you have to play a little bit with that. So I'm gonna first say, I'm gonna transform, 80 transform, and I'm gonna put the bounding box type to scale to inner bounds. And then I can scale or say how big the box will be. I'm gonna see what 700 does. So I put it on 700. So this seems okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use that in this tutorial. So this means no matter how big the name of the next follower will be, it's gonna be in this box. So I'm gonna now see if I can find the file, and I'm gonna make a long name. Hello, I am from Belgium. That's a long name, and I'm gonna put some amps behind it, and I'm gonna save it. You see, the name, it's a lot longer. It's became a little bit smaller, but it's still in the same box. There you go, very important. I sometimes see streamers that have like a super huge name earned, so they don't know about this. But yeah, there you go, you know it now. What's next? Display capture, that's to show your display. I have already one. This will show the display. I think it's not possible because I use already one. So basically this shows your display of your choice. If you have multiple displays, you can select the display you want. That's it. Next one, Windows capture. This will, you can add you can capture a window like it says. In Breaking Point, the game I play a lot, some people probably use that for player kills and zombie kills or whatever. So somewhere you can capture a window, don't matter what it is. So that's that. And I'm gonna remove it. And then next one is game capture, very important of course. I use capture any full screen application. So in OBS Studio, it's gonna capture automatically when something is on full screen, like a game. I always play my games in full screen, not on window mode, so I don't know if window mode should work. I don't know that, so maybe you guys can test it out for me and let me know in the comments. But for me, it's on capture any full screen application. And then we're gonna add it sometimes, especially in certain games. Arma 2 is one of them. Arma 3, I don't know, I always have it on. So if you can't capture the game, you have to use anti-cheat compatibility hook. It has to be enabled, so I'm gonna enable it. Very important, we bring the game capture all the way down, because this one is the first one. This is like this, and on top of there is this, and on top of there is our overlay, and on top of there we have our text. Those two here, they can switch. Why? Because they're not overlapping each other, but you know what I mean, right? And then next one is a video capture device. That's for adding a webcam, of course. In audio input capture, I never used it, so, but it's probably to add multiple or another microphone, or I don't know anything with audio inputs, mixers, like voice changers, I don't know. It probably has something to do with that. And the other one is output capture, basically the output. So maybe for capture cards, I never used it. I stream and game on the same computer. And then scene, you can add I think another scene. You can just add a full scene, which are already. So you can add a full scene, which is AFK for me, into a source. So that's basically it. And now I'm gonna start up Doom. And then you will see, of course, that Doom is starting, and then we have a nice overlay, and also we named the scene test. So if you go hotkeys, it's going to show up test, and we can, for example, we can put a control. I always use control and a certain F key. If I press that, so I can put control F10, and if I do OK, I can switch to Control F10, and that's the one we made. So of course I'm gonna delete it after this video, because I don't use this one test. Is to show you guys. So I'm gonna clear it. And also you can, within a certain scene, you can, for example, sometimes I don't use a webcam, so I press Control F2, and then it's like my webcam does not show. And also when I press Control 2, it's gonna add an image, so it is not gonna be a blank box. So you can try a little bit with that. But anyway, I'm gonna start up now Doom, so you see what I mean with very important, the game capture all the way on the bottom. And then the game will normally start automatically, and if you start streaming, this is what people will see, right? So hopefully I made some people happy. Hopefully I made some sponsors say, yo Rix, you're our guy, but probably not. But I do this also yeah, to do something else for a change. Breaking Point is very nice. I'm gonna keep continuing making videos, of course, but it's something else. Tutorial is a tutorial. So ciao.